So look, I brought a few things here. Be careful holding it, okay? If you drop it, you'll have a problem. I brought a few things. Where do you want to start? See everything or just something? I want to understand this universe. I'm going to begin with something unrelated to Pokemon. Is that okay? That's okay. Sure. This one, look.
It's Mickey, yeah.
It's Lorcana. You already brought up Lorcana. Lorcana, exactly. Look, the guy gets it. I know it, man.
Come with me. Watch out for him.
Man.
Come with me, my man.
My man, I'm watching you. For example, you have, just like you have Pokemon, you have Lorcana, which is from Disney, right? And you have Lorcana tournaments. It's a tournament with thousands competing. Among thousands of competitors, only a few win. And then, among the winners, you have the prize, which is the gold Mickey, which is this golden Mickey. So, it's a serialized Mickey. Down here, look, it's number 124 out of 500. See down here? Yes, so they're only going to distribute
500 units in
the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most anticipated artists. I'll say it. I've been trying to set up this meeting for 10 years, you know? When I tried to make this meeting happen, it was still middle-class Primo. Just so you know, that's how long I've wanted to do this. Now, Primo Rico, he became billionaire Primo. Now, I'm wondering if he's still Primo Rico, if he went down, if he went up. How's Tiago Negro doing right in front of me? Hey, brother, how are you?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, it's a real pleasure, man. We've been trying to set this up for a while, but your schedule was packed. Chasing too much money, huh? I guess things have slowed down now. Did you stop?
Yeah, man, I think I'm working more than ever, you know? Really? Yeah, but smarter, I think. Working smarter, right?
What does working smarter mean?
Man, there was a time when I was in college and I was a waiter, you know, at night. I remember it well. No, I was a waiter at Outback. I was a waiter at events. I was a bartender. Yeah, I started interning at Hershey's. So, you know, here it's a lot of work, a lot of manual labor. And then I went on, I think as time went by, working really hard, but I started working smarter, so I started scaling up what I do a little more, right?
I see. We're going to talk about that today, about mindset. I want to understand how Tiago thinks. Obviously, I need to thank Insider for making this project happen. Do you already know Insider?
Oh, for sure.
Have you already received any kit from Insider?
I love it. Everything from Insider I really like, man. And those guys have taken over the podcast world. They're a great business case study too, right?
Send a shout out to Yuri and Carol. In my opinion, they made the most talked about brand on the internet, Insider. Unfortunately, because of Insider, there are many podcasts. That's all I had to say. Some of them need to be taken down. They funded a lot too. I'll send a list of some that don't need to be there. You don't need to help Vilela's podcast. You don't. Are you kidding? I'm always talking about Vilela. I love Vilela. Anyway, discount code here on the screen. You already know Insider. High-tech clothing. Bye. Tiago, I wanted to, man, you've been in the financial market for 15 years now. Yeah, financial market.
I've worked in the financial market for 17 to 18 years.
18 years. What do you know about money? I wanted to start with this question that people still haven't understood. What is it that Tiago has that people still say, man, I need to seek out Tiago to get information? No.
Man, I think what people haven't understood about money is that money isn't a piece of paper. Money isn't a number in your bank account. Money isn't energy either. For me, money is time. That's what money is. So, for example, take my routine. But imagine you make 2,000 rays a month, okay? Man, you make 2,000 rays a month. If you work 200 hours in a month, you make 10 rays per hour, right? So if you go have lunch, man, and lunch costs 40 reais, right? You just gave 4 hours of your life in exchange for lunch, right? So you start to understand that money is actually time. Then suddenly, you advance in your career and start earning 20,000 reais. If you make 20,000 reais a month working 200 hours, that's 100 reais per hour. So if you spend 10 hours a month doing some task, man, you're spending 1,000 reais to do that task. If you can pay someone less than what your time is worth to do it, you should pay, right? So, what I know about money that others don't, maybe it's that. So, every day when I wake up, for example, there's coffee ready, breakfast ready, then I get in my car, there's coffee there, right? The decaf that I like, there's a big bottle of water and everything. Man, if I had to stop every day to make breakfast, grab the bottle, fill it, add ice, make coffee, and put it all together. In my car, let's say I spent 20 or 30 minutes a day, man, I don't know. If I work, if there are 20 business days in a month, You take 20 business days times half an hour. Man, I'll spend 10 hours here just making breakfast. Man, 10 hours of my life today? How much are they worth? Well, it's cheaper for me to hire someone to do this for me. So, in the end, what I know is when my time starts to become too valuable, I have tasks that I spend too much time doing. I start paying people whose time is worth a little less than mine because they're at an earlier stage than I am, so I can have more freedom to be more productive. So that's what I do.
The whole issue of time optimization that you pursue, but your mind always messes with you because sometimes you're at a dinner and you think, man, I've been at this dinner for 3 hours. I could be making 40,000 reas and I'm here having dinner. How does that work? Because there's also life, right? Social life. And then you're there. Myra invited you to some far off place. And there's this super boring couple here talking about who knows what. How do you deal with that? You say, look, Myra, that's 40 grand, man.
Some things feel like work and others feel like pleasure to me. So the moment you can say no to things, which for me is when you have financial freedom, right? And financial freedom is basically when you take what your time is worth per hour and you have more money saved than the number of hours you have left to live until the end of your life. Okay, that's financial freedom. In other words, you can buy all your hours from now until the end of your life. That's financial freedom. When you reach that point, you can say no to everything. And when you can say no to everything, it means you can say yes to what you want. That's when you've achieved financial freedom and truly become free. Before that, you're a slave to your own life. When you stop being a slave to your own life and you have dinners like this, man, if it's for business and you think it doesn't make sense, you have to say no because that hour isn't worth it anymore. You don't need to make more money than that. It's just a game, right? If you don't view it as part of the game, there's no point in doing this. For pleasure, though, I do things that aren't worth my time. Yeah, so I think maybe we'll talk a little today about the Pokémon hobby, right? The collectible cards.
I even brought the little case.
We're going to show it. I brought the case. I even brought a secret thing here.
Man, I want to get it right.
There are some cool things here.
1,000,000 reais here.
Security's coming with me. Damn.
That's awesome. I want to know.
Man, I have the armored security car. For example, I bought a microscope. Man, I bought a microscope. I keep it in my office. And then with that microscope, I take some cards, I pick them up, and then I start checking the quality of their edges, if they have any defects on the surface and so on. Man, it's not worth my time. But that's my hobby, you know.
Okay, it gives you pleasure. I enjoy it.
Man, I'm going to play tennis. No, man, I'm going to play tennis. It gives me pleasure. If it was just about making money, it wouldn't be worth it.
Have you ever been so obsessed with money that you made poor choices? Damn, I'm missing out. I'm spending 36 hours working and all, and I don't have time to enjoy myself. The reason I say this is because I think a lot of people who look at you say, man, I'd love to have his life, but I work my ass off, blah, blah, blah. How do you see that? Did you ever feel that way? Man,
I have felt that way, man. I'm really transparent about it. Sometimes people expect that a guy who, I don't know, achieves some financial success will talk a certain way. A little more, how can I say, more inspiring, more, I'll say more fake. The reality is it wasn't a pretty thing for me to make money. It wasn't a pretty thing, actually. It was a desperate experience. Man, I really sacrificed everything. So damn.
you spent many hours and many years, and now you're just starting to think about this.
Yeah, I think it was a logical decision, and it was a good one, okay? So, for example, you can go ahead and decide, man, I'm going to the beach, I'm going to Pauba now, I'm going to stay here for a week, sun surfing and all that, man, cool, awesome. I took this week in Pauba and I worked the whole week, including Saturday, Sunday, the weekend, at night and everything. But now that I gave up that week in Pauba, I can now pay for 50 years in Pauba if I want. So for me, it was a rational decision, but at the time, it hurt a lot. So, man, I messed up my health, man. I wasn't working out. Could I have eaten properly? I could have. But the work stress and pressure were so intense that I kept getting into all kinds of trouble. Man, I got addicted to everything. It was coffee. I got hooked on coffee. It was food. I got hooked on food. It was everything you can imagine. So, no, it wasn't a pretty thing. You know, it was desperate. So, I already gave up everything to get rich. But at that time, I also had a lack of maturity. Because in my mind, getting rich was the end game. It was the end of the line. And then I got rich, right? Financially speaking.
Then there was an existential void.
Then I realized that even though I was rich, actually I was rich. But at the same time, I was poor.
So there's a saying, right? You were so rich that all you had was money. I mean, you were so poor that all you had was money.
That's it, exactly. I got it. That's when I started my search for God, right? So It's funny because people would say you were an atheist. I also went through a phase where I converted and had a special encounter with God. And then people say, look, Primo Rico was an atheist and then found God. Actually, I wasn't an atheist. I would say maybe I was agnostic, but I'm not even sure if I was that. Actually, I had never stopped to think about it, because I was so obsessed with that pursuit.
You were just focused on money.
Exactly. Then when I was able to buy my time back, I was able to reflect on life. Some people may live on autopilot.
Some people, when given time to think, end up thinking the wrong things. You followed God's path, but others feel their purpose is over and don't know what to do. You, during that period, was there anything you did that was really serious that made you think, man, what the hell am I doing? Like, for example, 4 of my dad's birthdays that I missed. Is there something you didn't do that now with your time you could have done? What did you realize?
Man, a lot of things were really wrong. The things that were really wrong, I can't talk about.
I see. It was expensive. I was involved in the know.
It's already bad. Tiago would like to share some off-the-record thoughts on this topic. But, man, I think the main price I paid was really, my family.
Yes, giving up things as people were getting older and you were obsessed with work. You teach many courses and cover various topics in your lectures, right? Who lived through that craziness of working like an animal to make money, and you saw that it wasn't sustainable emotionally either, it was just practical, it made money. How do you help these people? Because people are like, I want to make money, but do they really want to pay the price that you did? What experience can you share with them?
About
how can they be rich, have a lot of money, and not go through all the sacrifice that you went through? What is the cost of that?
Right, man. So I don't think it's possible, man. I don't think it's possible. That's the conclusion I came to, right? Someone recently asked me what the biggest lesson was or what I changed my mind about. One major thing I changed my mind about is personal development. Yeah, like, can you really change someone? Can you teach someone? With all those personal development events and trainings, can you really change someone? My conclusion is, man, I think it's really hard. I mean, are there exceptions? Sure, there will be people who change, but most people won't change just because of the content. I think that, like, the person who is predestined, not in a spiritual way, but predestined in terms of behavior, they're going to succeed. That's my view. And personal development will either speed things up or slow them down a little, but that person is going to succeed sooner or later. So what I could say is, man, out of everything I've learned, maybe the most important things are these. First, being in the right market. Because you see, man, someone who's a real outlier and they're in a really bad area for making money, man, they can go broke. They can go broke, But if this guy is in a good market, he'll make a lot of money. So one of the most important things is to be in the right market. When there's a lot of money in the market, it spreads everywhere. So no matter your position, you'll make money. So being in the right market is having a positive beta. Positive beta means that if the market grows, you grow too.
Opening a video rental store now is pointless. No one will want to give you money.
So if you're in the AI market today, man, chances are that if you're average, you grew because the whole market is growing, It makes sense. So being in the right market is one of the most important things. And the other thing is being with the right people. That, for me, because sometimes if you're with the wrong people in a good market, man, they'll take advantage of you, string you along, and make false promises to you,
Especially because in a good market, there will be a lot of people, and as a result, there will also be a proportion of people who will get in your way.
The markets with more money have the ability to attract more talent. So if you're a really brilliant guy, usually you'll be attracted to the markets that will pay you more. So you'll have the best people there, but that's also where there's more money, right? Yes. So those are the most important things to me, and working helps.
But regardless of that, it's working like crazy.
And then I don't know anyone, yeah. There are several, man. We could get into a lot of things here about scaling and all, but the most important thing for me is to work hard, be in the right market, and with the right people.
Some sacrifices are unavoidable, but you made sacrifices, so let me ask you, there are several Tiagos out there, correct? There's Tiago who became a bartender, Tiago who became a waiter, Tiago who became a financial analyst, and so on. What drove you to become this guy obsessed with money? Was there something from your childhood that you looked at and thought, damn, my friends have sneakers, I want to have them too? Was it a movie? What sparked that in you? Was it your father? Was it your mother? What was it?
Man, I usually see that the most successful people are usually the ones with problems. You can see it. People have their little issues, you know? There's no way for someone to be normal, man. And my little issue, I think it was a childhood problem, maybe about acceptance, bullying, and stuff like that.
Oh, look at the bullying. There you go. Make fun of a fat guy and he becomes a billionaire.
And you're the subject. Man, think about it. I was the guy who wore thick glasses. I wear contacts now, right? So I used to wear glasses with a +6 hyperopia prescription plus astigmatism. Yeah, every public test I've ever taken showed that I have some degree of autism, you know. Okay, I haven't actually checked that out.
Like Elon Musk, right? He has that too, right? He has Asperger's.
He has something, right? I'm not sure if that's what it is or if I have it.
That's what did it. Yeah.
All the tests, man, said yes, but the point is, in childhood, a set of things made me feel like I wasn't accepted. Yeah, so it's like I felt like I was that guy who didn't have friends, you know? I didn't have social skills. Man, even today you have a real talent in that area. You show up, I bet everyone wants to be with you, you make things happen, I don't know what, you're the life of the party.
More or less, right? I'll tell you, there's something, yeah, more than you, obviously, but I seem like someone with high social energy, but I have few relationships. Got it. I'm the kind of guy, I'm not that guy who shows up and it's like, Mirels is here, Mirels. No, I'm just me. I think individually, I'm a really good friend. I understand I can be friends with you or with Matthias individually, but I'm not someone who hangs out in large groups. 40 friends at once isn't me, but I get it.
Yeah, man, I'm not that guy, and besides that, I'm a difficult guy when it comes to building relationships, you know? I have very few friends. Yeah, but not because I don't want to, you know? I really just have a hard time with that. Yeah, so I felt like I wasn't accepted. I had a lot of stories where, man, at school, sometimes during break, I'd just stay in the bathroom waiting for recess to be over, you know? Then, when the bell rang, I'd go back. For group work, man, I didn't really know who I was supposed to go with or anything like that. So, I had this feeling of not being accepted. And then I discovered, through work, a way to be accepted. So, it's like this, man. My professional success is what's going to make people accept me.
Getting validation, yeah.
So I wanted to be validated. So this search was like an unhealthy pursuit. And honestly, I wasn't supported even at the beginning until there came a time when my success, whether they liked me or not, man. I remember when I was in Times Square, we did the IPO of XP in 2019, $15 billion in the IPO. At that point, there were people who, whether they liked me or not, said, wow, this influencer went far, right? So I remember that I achieved that. Yes. And then I started taking care of myself along the way, right? I have a lot of problems. I'm a guy full of problems, right?
That's normal. Up to that point, it's all good. But for example, nowadays with the money you have, a lot of people showed up. Are you able to filter and tell who's really your friend? Or because you might look and say, damn, now I've won over my friends, I can buy them. Or do you have that thing like, no way, not at all. Did you change, man?
It went the opposite way. Now, pretty much everyone who comes close has some kind of conflict of interest, right? So it went the opposite way, right? So really, I think I have a good filter because of that. Also, my wife is Myra too. So both of us don't deal with much of that.
She's sociable too, right?
She is. She's the opposite of me in that way. She's very sociable, very outgoing, you know. I'm more introspective and all that. She'll say no. She'll say that I'm kind of outgoing and crazy too. But, so we end up having this filter together, right? Yes. Yeah, but in the end, nowadays I'm a real family guy. So just a few people, family. I really like being with my business partners. Monday mornings like today are my favorite moments.
Yes.
I get to the office, man, and I'm with my partners. Then we have lunch together and just chat.
Yeah, I know, I get it. You took that guy from the past who had some trauma that pushed you to make money, and today you've managed to balance who you like and who you don't, and you've built your own relationships. You clearly didn't become the guy with 1 million friends. You're still reserved. Are you afraid of losing money, of losing all your money? You have that thing from being a middle-class guy. You know, that's the fear I used to have the most. Man, I made it. Now I'm going to lose it. I'm screwed. Did you ever have that fear? Do you still have that fear? Or did it go away for you? Is it gone?
I thought of the answer in my head because I was afraid of sounding arrogant, you know.
Go ahead. It's your perspective.
I'm not scared of that, but I think it's really hard. Man, something truly tragic would have to happen for that. Still.
Right now, you're doing really well, but back when you were starting out, you started to become, you were Tiago, then you became Primo Rico. Yeah, Primo Rico. Primo Rico's making good money now. Yeah. I used to follow you. You showed your earnings. You shared them with people. You'd say, man, I've got 15 million and all that. Did you ever think, if I mess up and get canceled, I could lose everything? You never considered that.
I did. I had a few moments like that, and there were cancellations when I thought something really bad was going to happen. When Mayra and I started, man, it caused a huge stir. And then, I don't know if the word is cancellation, but it's a bit like people on the internet, they usually don't like change, any kind of change. Yes, it takes a while for them to accept you, right? So you just wait until everyone forgets and loves you as you are, right? If you return now, you're in trouble. And then when I went through that change, I remember that I was really scared. I said, man, what do I do? I remember that I was at home kind of lying on my side and I said, my God, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. Going through being canceled is one thing. Being an entrepreneur and facing that is another. Here's the thing. At the company, you walk down the hall, employees look at you and you think, this guy thinks this about me. That guy thinks I'm here.
I'm scared here as the company owner because the guys just say, here comes the idiot.
I doubt it. I bet they like you.
Just watch.
Look at that jerk. So, man, yeah, I had this pressure and I said, I'm not going to the office anymore. I'll stay at home. So I stayed at home. At the time, we were living in a small rented house, me and Mayra. And then one day, Mayra said, man, grab your phone and do something. Turn this into money. I said, man, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. She said, take this, turn this thing into money, do something, go on. She pushed me. Yeah, it's that thing where I gave it, I saw it, but she pushed me. Then I said, man, okay, grab the phone. I said, here's the thing. You're probably wondering about this. Then I brought it up and talked about it. You must be wanting to know about this topic that everyone is talking about. So I'm going to tell you. But here's the thing. Before that, I want to say that it's really great to have dividends coming into your account every day. You know why? Because then I can take as much time as I want to go through this. And if I want, I don't even have to go back. So all of this is because I created a second income through dividends. And if you want, you can also create a second income, man. Just click here. Afterwards, I told them what they wanted to hear. Those stories, plus others at the time, made me 10 million raise. So this gave me almost like this superpower of thinking that, man, it's really hard for anything bad to happen in my life.
I see. That was my doubt until you said, I know how to do this. Exactly. So I'll always have that. Whenever things are tough, I can turn it into money. Anything.
Everything. So, man, what I found out is that on the internet, getting canceled or loved, right? All love and hate, they're really close to each other. All of that can be turned into money, into energy, into projects, whatever it is, right? Yeah, nowadays, I probably get canceled every week, you know? And at the same time, man, I have like 1 billion people who love me every week.
Yes, you focus on those who like you and what you do. But at the same time, that gets in your way, Tiago, because you used to be Primo Rico, now you're Tiago. For many people, you're Mayra Cardi's husband. For others, you're the guy who, I don't know, makes the financial market grow.
That's funny. The other day, we buy a house, and it turns into a soap opera, right?
I want to talk about that.
So, something really funny happened to me the other day, man. I was at the airport, and I was on the escalator, and this American guy comes up speaking Portuguese with an American accent, and he says, aren't you the... And I thought, man, what's he going to say? Who am I to him? He's probably going to say Primo Rico, right? Aren't you the husband? I said, wait, of Mayra Cardi, the husband of that construction influencer. I said,
wow, she's already a construction influencer.
Construction abroad? So I said, wow. So like you have audiences, and what's funny is that my audience, Mayra's audience, is very different. It's completely different, right? Yes. And that's cool because it's very complementary. So for Mayra's audience, I'm Mayra's husband. For my audience, depending on the group, I'm either a businessman or an investor or a teacher, so it's very different. Like, man, but
do these worlds get in your way? Sometimes an aunt who likes Mayra comes and bothers you, or the opposite happens?
Man, it's cool. Whenever we go somewhere public and there's a couple, the husband comes up to me and the wife goes to her like that. Usually husbands are my fans, but with Mayra, it's the opposite, which is a problem. Cool. So it's always like that. Couples always have this dynamic, you know?
You mentioned the house, man. I wanted to talk about it because I want to talk about Pokemon. But before that, I want to talk about the house because I think the house is the main topic. When I said, today I'm bringing Tiago Negro, the whole team said, ask about the house, talk about the house, talk about the house. I want to, because let's go. You, at the same time, are a real contradiction. Before talking about the house, I wanted to understand how your mind works. Because, you know, you're the guy who talks about the financial market. You're the guy who talks about making the best choices. Your company, Primo Rico, says the financial market is the best choice today. It's much more worth it than buying your own property. You have your own strategy and all. But at the same time, you go and make investments that a lot of people consider bad. How does one thing get in the way of the other? Like, because, I don't know, theoretically, CDI and Selic rates are yielding better returns than real estate today. Then when you buy a property, you're like, damn, I'm going to buy property. People are going to give me a hard time, or maybe they won't. How do you manage to balance this personal life of taking risks, making mistakes, with being the guy who really can't afford to make mistakes in his financial life?
Man, damn, that's a complicated subject because, like, really, I can't make mistakes. I can't make mistakes, man. I just can't make mistakes. Yeah, I've been investing publicly for about 7 or 8 years, and you really need to know what you're doing to succeed. Because if you invest publicly,
everyone's watching, right?
I'm putting my credibility at risk, and in general, even Warren Buffett or any investor out there, you're going to make mistakes many times, so it takes courage, right, to get started. Second, after courage, it's a bit of faith in yourself. I believe I'm good at what I do. I have a good track record, so I'm going to do it. I invest publicly. Man, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, right? And I make one mistake. Then people see it in the comments and say, hey, aren't you the guy who recommended that thing and all? And I say,
man, you're like the hot girl who gained weight, bro. It doesn't matter what happens. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Wow, that body is fat. The woman says, man, once I ate something, that's it.
It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. So how do I deal with this? Man, I'll tell you, I've already lost like about 8 million rays because of this. Yeah, to keep my integrity, let's say. What do you mean? Man, I know that since I invest publicly, a lot of people look to me for guidance, right? At least some of those who follow me. I'm afraid there are things I don't do publicly because I know that maybe some people won't understand. Right? So sometimes not everyone has the maturity to understand something like that, you know? So once I bought a stock, I bought 1 million reais worth of that stock, and I really thought it was a good investment, and it started to go up. Then it went up to 2 million reais, 3 million reais, 4, 5 million reais, 6 million reais, 7, 8 million reais. Man, I had 8 million reais. What would you do?
And I would put money into it. Man, but it's time to sell.
Maybe. In my case, I was going to sell. Yeah, I said, man, I'm going to sell, for God's sake. I thought it was going to go up, but not that much. And it went up really fast. I said, I'm going to sell. Then I thought, man, if I sell this thing, and by chance after that the stock drops, it could publicly look like I tried to manipulate the stock or something like that, right? And then I said, man, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because if that happens, my reputation will be tarnished by something that's not true. But because in business, it's not enough for you to just say it, it needs to disappear. So I said, then I can't sell this stock. In short, after 8, then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, it turned into 500,000.
And then you hadn't sold it.
I hadn't sold it? Many people say, wow, what an idiot for not selling when prices were high. Sometimes you just have to accept it, even though it's hard to explain.
You don't know the context of why I didn't sell.
There are many factors, that's one. Now, there are other things that I think are just plain bad faith from some people. If someone dislikes you, nothing you do will change their mind. Even if you do something good, they'll criticize you, like making negative comments about your sneakers. That's similar to the whole house situation. So, like, I think the biggest lie that's told about me, some of them, is, but you, aren't you that guy who always says that renting is better than buying a house? That's what I hear the most, right? From this real estate niche, right? For some, it's ignorance. For others, bad faith or just a slip-up. Some people were genuinely confused.
But it came out confusing for the guy.
Right? Why? Because people say, wasn't this the guy who used to say renting was better? The answer should be like this. Yes, that's me. It's this guy. The guy who rented a 31 square meter apartment, then an 85 square meter apartment until I had 15 million reais saved up to leave renting behind and buy my house. That was Tiago, so I did that. I did what I tell people to do, right? And then there's another mistake. They want to compare their reality with mine. Man, my reality is this.
You can buy Pokemon cards. Other people can't buy Pokemon cards.
There are some who can, man.
Yeah, no, yes, but what I mean is this. If you buy a jet with that amount, look at what a bad investment that is. For someone who has $1 billion, it's not a bad investment.
The rational and technical decision is for those who have to make a rational and technical decision. The moment you can make a decision based on what you want, which is financial freedom, you should do it, because that's the whole point of having worked so hard and built up so much wealth, right? And then one thing I've learned over maybe the last few years is that the best investment you can make is to invest in your own home. When I say invest in your home, I don't mean whether you're going to buy the place. It's this. It's about providing a better experience for your family if you can do that, right? And in my case, I can. And man,
if I can, you've already made it through the rough patch, and now you can do whatever you want with your money. Exactly. But from what I understand, your advice still stands if you have it. If someone has 100,000 riyals, would you tell this person, would you advise them to keep it invested rather than keep renting?
The answer is always, it depends, since you have to do the math. But there's almost a yes. Like, look, when you're just starting out, is it worth it to finance a house if you qualify for Minha Casa, Minha Vida? The interest rate here is somewhat subsidized and very low, so it's worth getting it. After that, renting is better. And then, after this point again, now you can choose. Now it's more worth it for you to do whatever you want.
You can buy or not buy, sell, yes, yes.
Yes. So mathematically speaking, usually renting is better. For several reasons. For example, my office moved from one place to another. Man, what if I had a 30-year mortgage here? I stopped paying rent, moved here, so I became more productive.
But I did the same thing. What you mentioned as advice, I actually endorse it. That's what I did. I only bought my house after having a really good income, to the point where now I can make that decision. Now, I'm not endorsing anyone to do this. That's just what I did, because the interest rates were very high.
Let me tell you a funny story, dude. At home, the rule is I can't mess up financially and Mayra can't eat the wrong things.
It's true, man. She probably has the bread police.
Man, every day, all the time like that. Today, not much has changed because I think we created a connection. I think people already know us and all. I think the way things are has changed very little. But some time ago, man, something funny happened. We were in England. I went there to give a lecture. And then Myra and we had a fight, man. And then we fought. We were in London. It must have been, 11 o'clock at night. I don't know what time it was. And I got pissed off, man. I got really pissed off. And then I argued. I said, man, I don't know what I'm going to do now. We were at the hotel. I went downstairs, went to the ground floor. I said, man, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And I started walking. Man, then what did I find? McDonald's. Dude, I found McDonald's.
Eating McDonald's is the best way to make her mad.
I said, dude, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back at her like this. I got pissed off and said, man, I'm going to get McDonald's. When I got there, it had been a long time since I last ate it.
She invested in Bitcoin.
Man, I think I'll talk about Bitcoin later. Okay, I thought, man, like it had been a long time since I ate McDonald's, soda, Coke, hamburger. Man, I got there and ordered a huge big taste, man, nuggets. I ordered Coke Zero. I ordered a bunch of stuff, man. Then I went to order, grabbed my bag from McDonald's. Then I was walking to a dark square, man. There was nothing in the square. I went there, opened the bag, took out the burger and nuggets, took everything out. I opened the nuggets, then I dipped them in the barbecue sauce. I dipped it in barbecue sauce and said, I'm eating this nugget now. I can't believe it. It was almost midnight already. Man, out of nowhere, there was someone walking by, like this, way over there. In the dark, going to the subway or something, she stopped and looked at me. I said, man. She stopped, then she came over, walking, and she was like, aren't you Tiago Negro?
She said,
look, does Mara know you're eating this? Wonderful. I said, I can't believe it, man, wonderful. Dude, it's hard.
Mara's inspector's Cardi there, man. No, dude.
We're both on the run. No one can slip up.
You can't mess up.
So I got home and said, honey, you, Marcelo, and we have a thing with lying. Then she asked if Mara knew I was eating that. I said she did. She pressed, asking if Mara really knew. I replied, I'd tell her as soon as I arrived. And then I got to the hotel and said, damn it, you made me lie. Then I was like, damn you. She said, how did I make you lie? Then I said, man, I can't believe it. So man, we have so many people policing our lives, man. Damn.
Isn't that bad? Mayra wants to do something wrong while you just want to eat the bread.
The bread, man, that's it. Man, at first we tried to be perfect, right? And then we realized that
Damn, you're going to freak out.
you didn't have to, you know?
This will mess with your head.
I've really grown from who I was. Mayra has too. I manage her money and everything. We've helped each other, right? Yeah. But still, there's no way to reach the level of authority she has in health or that I have in maybe, I don't know, financial wisdom. No.
I mean, let's see, you've got 15 years, you said 17 years of history, and now you're the house guy. You're the guy people associate with Neymar's house.
I don't see myself like that, man.
But a lot of people are saying that.
A lot of people see it that way. That's fine.
Yeah, like now I'm the guy from, Mauricio is now from Tres Continentes. I have 40 things I've done, and I'm just one thing. How did that story about the house go? I wanted to understand since they discussed it a lot, but I still don't know what happened. I know that you bought a house and you're renovating it. That's the only thing I know.
That's not possible. I swear to God.
I know that my wife keeps up with it. She says that Mayra keeps showing the messes of the situation, all the crap that happened. But why did this get so big? Why did it blow up so much? What's the deal?
Man, the story goes like this. When Mayra and I started out, Mayra lived in Valinhos. And my office was in Alphaville. And in our lives, it was very clear from the beginning that Mayra is very successful. But in the world of business and money, man, it's the Primo group. We wouldn't need any other businesses. This alone was big enough to support us for the rest of our lives. But the Primo group was in Alphaville, and that was our business priority, and she lived in Valinhos. And then every day, man, there was the driver and everything. Every day it was an hour and a half to get to the office and almost 2 hours to get back. 3.5 hours. Man, we did the math, helicopter and everything, but the nearest helipad to my house was more than 20 minutes away. It didn't make sense. Man, I would go crazy. It was 3.5 hours every day, going back and forth. It was crazy. It was about calculating the value of an hour. That was the price of love. That's what I was paying, you know? But it's all good. We were on the same page about the timing. And then I tried to convince Mayra, babe, let's move. We need to move. Get closer. Something like that.
And she didn't want to leave Valinhos because of that?
She didn't want to because she said, look, we can't. This house is really good for us.
Our family, quality of life, there's even a lawn.
Nice house, yes. And then there was a day when, I don't know, she just went crazy. She said, honey, I'm okay with us getting a small rented house there, and you can look for something else to buy and all. I said, now. We looked at every house in Alphaville. Mayra is extremely picky and didn't like any of them. Not even houses worth 100 million reis. We saw everything, but she wanted none. And we had already visited this house, which at the time Rafaela was living in, and we tried to rent the house. We made an offer. Yeah, the realtor at the time closed the deal. We were going to rent the house. And then, man, for reasons we never found out, time passed and they backed out. We couldn't rent that house. I don't think I've said this before. Later, after a long time, I was in Valinhos, going back and forth, feeling desperate. Later, we needed to buy something and returned to the house asking, do you think they might want to sell? They wanted to sell. We went, made an offer, and bought the house. Awesome. I opened an account at Portfolio for us. We basically work in finance in general. So I wanted to get a mortgage. Man, we got an 8.99% rate on the house. Damn.
It's minha casa, minha vida.
Quase isso. Na minha casa. My money was yielding about 17% a year, more or less. Man, I went there and financed almost everything. So just by continuing to pay for the house, I was making money. The longer I took, the more money I made. All right, we agreed that we were going to move. Mayra loved the house. And then she started with this thing, like when it comes to the kids, she really wanted a huge playroom, you know? She wanted Sofia to have the same playroom she had in Valinhos.
And so she wouldn't lose it, okay?
So let's at least do a little renovation and at least work on her playroom. And let's also paint this room here for her. I said, okay. While we're at it, let's do a little something here too. I said, okay. No, but since we've done it, let's see what we can do. Then it turned into this whole, do this here, do this here, do this here. Then suddenly the project got really big and chaotic. And Mayra started filming things. And then I think what was different is that every project has problems. And every project gets delayed. But nobody shows the screw-ups of the project.
Nobody shows it.
And Mayra was the first to do that. She started showing the screw-ups and I was like, damn, man, Marlon, why are you showing this, man? Everyone's going to leave nobody. But will anyone have the courage to? Because
you guys were paying for everything. Nothing was a barter deal, all that stuff.
we did some barter deals, but still, it's really big, man. Think about it. The house in the end is going to have 3,000 square meters of built area. Damn, super high end.
The land, where is it? Is it 5,000?
No, man.
The lot is, I think, about 1,700, something like that, okay? Because that's it.
It's 3 floors, right? Yes. And we said, man, you know what? Let's build the best house there is, man. Our dream house. Then we added the gym. Man, we built the biggest private gym in the world with Techno Gym, for example. There's nothing else like it. Beautiful, a luxury line and all. Are we building a movie theater? Let's make it awesome. Pool? No. Let's create a lake instead. Did you build a mall? Man,
It's an art-filled private mall. Marcio Garcia's house is nearby.
we said, you know what? Let's do it ourselves. Everything we've always wanted. So, should we have a bed made? No, let's have a different bed made. I was just looking at a king-size bed. It's like, I don't know, 2 meters. We had one made that's 4 meters, like that.
Damn, but we're just gonna keep rolling around, man. I don't know how those guys live either. Sometimes they just keep rolling around. I don't know.
So, man, we started doing something, man, like it's extravagant. Of course it is. I've never lived in a house like this, you know? But here's the thing. Damn, if we can do this and the family wants it, damn, why wouldn't I provide it?
My mindset is so middle class. My mind goes like, how am I gonna sell this damn thing later? That's how I think, man. How am I gonna sell this crap later? I'm in trouble. How do I sell it? I get it. You don't have that issue, right? You just say, if I don't want it, someone else will buy it.
Man, look, honestly, for us, I don't know. It would be hard if we wanted to sell, yeah, but we don't think about that, you know? We built a house that's supposed to be our last house, really. There's a lot of space. We made several bedrooms, a cool office, and a nice living room, all designed for our Thursday sell group. So, we didn't build it thinking about selling, man. Otherwise, we wouldn't have spent so much.
There's that too. It's kind of an investment meant to last forever, you know? Everything.
Man,
And I wanted to know about the Pokemon card thing, man. Damn, that's it. I wanted to understand that. So I'm showing it because I saw how much that blew up, right? Yeah, before you talk about the Pokemon card, hold on, Joan Kleber. I'm dragging it out, aren't I? Hold on, no, because you said something really cool, like you take a lot of risks in your businesses, right? You're going to say, I went there, bought $1 million in stock thinking it would make 8, but it sold for less. Then later you buy the house and everything. What's the biggest mistake you see Brazilians make when investing? What do you notice? Where do they go wrong? Do you think it's a mental thing? Because I'm really scared to invest.
first off, let's go. You take a lot of risks. I don't think I take a lot of risks. I think if you do what I'm doing at the right time, man, this is just part of the game. It's like, yeah, it all depends on the offer.
You can still lose even when you have it, you know?
Your assets, you know? Spending $1 million could be a lot or a little, right? So I don't see that as a huge risk, you know? So what I see is that Brazilians make mistakes, man. It's not about making bad investments. It's about not investing at all. More important than investing right is just investing. Brazilians don't invest. They think, damn, I'm the only one saying this. You can start with 100 reais. He says, 100 reais is too little, so I'll wait until I have more to start. And the guy keeps spending. His biggest mistake is spending instead of investing. Of course, man, there are people, when I say this, there's always a bunch of comments, but what about me? I make 1,300 reais and whatever. Man, okay. It's a situation where you're really underwater. You'll need to be rescued by someone. You'll have to make a superhuman effort to maybe make it. But I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the ones who managed to invest 100 reais. That's who I'm talking to. And their mistake is not investing.
Do you think it's possible to get rich by investing 100 reais each month?
Cara, man, is it possible? Yes, but it's not likely. A person investing 100 reais a month is not going to get rich. No way. Yeah, but the discipline and the habit of starting to invest will make them rich. It's not the 100 reais, it's the habit.
I see. When she earns 2,500, she'll already understand that 10% goes into investments and she'll create her own method.
I don't know if you saw this, but you know? Man, I don't know. You make 2,000 reais a month and get by? Some people make 10,000 and say, man, I don't know how I used to live on 2,000. Now I make 10,000 and still have nothing left.
Even millionaires say that.
So this has to do with habit, you know, man. So you need to move up, but never raise your standard of living to the same level. You always need to have a little extra, which is what you'll invest and will help you make money, get rich.
Do you still do that kind of calculation? Me? No, impossible. No, but like, I mean, Thiago Negro, I invest 30% of what I earn. Do you have a calculation like that, or have you reached a level where you don't even think about it anymore?
I think it's at a point where you don't need to anymore. It's like about 2 years ago, we sold 17% of our company. And then it came in and I said, invest part of it publicly, right? We sold it at a valuation at the time of 1.2 billion reais. Then I chose to invest 100 million publicly. How do you invest that money publicly? Man, that money, it would yield something like 1.3 million per month. Just from the earnings? Man, do you think I spend more than that? I get it, more than the actual earnings, and I keep working like crazy. Many people mistakenly think Tiago is just an influencer. Man, actually, I'm a businessman today, right? Grupo Primo is going to make something like 650 million raise in revenue this year. We have 2,000 employees, both direct and indirect. We're going to end the year with almost 40 billion reais under management, right? So, we talk to 40 million people every month, so we have a business. It's not like I've stopped. Man, I'm working harder than ever. But it turns out that we've built up enough money that we can gradually stop worrying about that.
What was the moment when you looked and said, man, for example, I think a lot of people think like this. The day I have 1 million, I think I'll be fine. Someone else says, I have 10 million. How much money made you say, damn, now I'm good?
You know what's real? That moment never comes. That never happens. It's always like this. It's your mind tying your happiness to what you don't have. That's what I learned. So when I was in debt, I wanted to pay off more debts. I used to say, man, imagine if I paid off more debts and didn't have that pressure every month. Man, then I'll tell you, then I'll be good. All that boat talk, then I paid it off, man. I used to say, imagine if I could invest a little each month. Then imagine every month imagine me reaching 100,000 reais. Man, I made it. Imagine reaching 1 million. Man, I made it to 1 million, dude. And then, man, it's cool, but then you say, no, but when I reach 10, things will change. You just keep going. Eventually, I started flying and giving lectures. Yeah, today I decided not to give lectures anymore. And man, we get offers all the time. Last week, I got an offer of 400,000 reais for me and Maíra to give a lecture, with the jet included. Man, we didn't go. 300,000, 200,000, we don't go.
Because of the time, is that it, man? Like, you prefer to use that time.
Once I was set to give a lecture with the jet and everything, worth 300,000, right? Then I said, honey, Maíra, who managed my schedule, was there. Then I said, what happened here, honey? Wasn't there supposed to be a lecture? She said, I got tired, I canceled it. I said, why did you cancel it? Are you crazy? Come on, 300 grand for 1 hour on stage? She said, you need to pick up Sophia at school. I said, damn, the priority changed, man. Because if it's just about the money, then it loses its joy, right? The deeper joy of life, not the material kind. Yes, yes. When I talk about this, I started taking a jet to lectures. You start to feel important on the jet, but then you land and see Abilio Dinize's jet next to yours. Man, awesome. Then you look to the side and there's Jorge Paulo Leman's jet, which is an amazing plane. You think, man, there's no end to this. So, the thing is, you shouldn't look for happiness in what you don't have or by comparing yourself to others. It's about comparing yourself to your past self and appreciating what you have. Gratitude. It's easier for me to say this today, but if I had this mindset before, maybe I would have gotten to the same place, just with much better mental health, you know?
I brought Flavio Augusto here, and he's also, a real shark. The guy is amazing when it comes to investments and all that. I loved chatting with him. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked him. People must stop you on the street and say, why don't you stop? Why are you still working? Why do you stress yourself out? Because just imagine you must wake up, damn, having to solve some problem with a guy, an employee, a co-worker. Why don't you take that money, take Maíra, go to the Maldives and stay there for the rest of your lives?
I'm drinking some coconut water.
Some coconut water. Because this right here, look, all the proletarians, everyone here, man.
Don't point at us like that. Show some more respect for the working class.
Okay, no, respect me. You respect me.
Morale is low here, man.
It becomes a mess, right?
So this can become a clip. Do you have a specific number where you'd stop if you reached it?
Any number?
What would that number be? Damn.
I don't have it, Tiago.
No, everyone has a number.
Everyone has a number. This question already came up in Bahia.
Have you ever come up with that number for how much would you give to the homeless guy? We have that number. We do. Everyone has that number. No, but now it's to stop working.
I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea what number I would need to have to.
Stop. But if it were now, like 10 million, would you stop?
10 million sounds like a good amount to me.
That's roughly 100K a month, well invested.
Well invested? I think maybe yes.
So, everyone I know who has numbers like that usually doesn't make it, man. Yes.
You're right.
That's usually it.
That's why you didn't mention your target number.
No, but 10 million sounds good, but I'm far from that.
No, but it's because, look, usually the people who have a number are the ones who haven't reached it yet. Yes, and usually that person will never get there. Usually, yes, usually. Why? Because that person is the one who thinks like this. Man, when I get there, I'll stop. But I don't know anyone who got there and stopped. Because the mindset is different. It's just different. Now I'm going to speak for myself. I don't stop for two reasons. One is a story I learned from my grandfather. My grandfather, he's Dutch. He came to Brazil. He had to build a big industry. He was very successful. And then he stopped working. He sold his company. The following month, he got Alzheimer's. The following month. And then I started to notice that, man, usually people who stop working get sick. They get sick, and you often lose your sense of purpose. There will be someone who says no, that it's not like that it's an exception. It's an exception. It's not the rule. You stop working. You stop having an activity. You stop. And the second thing, we haven't talked much about this, but man, the priority in my life today is spirituality, man. That's the most important thing there is. For me, this is above absolutely everything. Everything. And what I learn is, if I don't put God above, even above my family, I can't have a well-structured family. It's hard, but that's how I see it. That's what I strive for, you know? It's not that I manage to be that way, but it's what I strive for. And man, I learn from God and just think, there are books of the Bible that I've read 20, 30 times. But for the first time, I read the entire Bible. From chapter 1 to the last chapter of Revelation. I have several conclusions. One straightforward one concerns the parable of the talents, you know? So it says he gives 5 talents to one, 3 to another, and 1 talent to the last one. And then when he comes back, he asks what each one did with the talents. The one who received 5 multiplied them, faithful servant. The one with 3 multiplied them, faithful servant. And the one who received 1 talent buried it underground and out of fear gave it back. Evil servant, unfaithful servant, right? So this shows that you receive talents according to your ability and that your responsibility is to multiply those talents. And then, man, for a long time in my life, I thought I was the man. I thought I had built everything because I worked too much. And now I see that I did my part, but man, God entrusted me with a lot. For example, I was the guy without friends who didn't speak well, didn't communicate. No finance influencer today has more followers. How is a guy like this even possible? God entrusted me with this audience, among other things. So God gave me so much that, man, if I just keep it to myself, I'll be a bad servant. So, one of the biggest discussions that Maira and I had was about what we would do with our fame, so to speak, or with our access. And at the beginning of our relationship, we actually considered disappearing from social media and just enjoying life, man. And we said, man, it doesn't make sense. In our view, right? It doesn't make sense for God.
Did he actually decide that beforehand?
Yes. Then Maira left social media. And then I was going to leave too.
And then Donna Adela did some work.
Then we needed to put in more money to pay for the work.
Actually, this bricklayer is sent by God.
Maybe, man. Look at how God works, right?
Maybe. That's why it's getting delayed.
That's true. It's for the beautiful word. And then we said, man, no, God wouldn't allow us to get together, let's say, with the kind of access we have, just to disappear from social media, you know? So we try to have some kind of positive influence in ways we believe make sense, you know? So that's it. It's about multiplying your talents.
Your legacy is to keep working. I mean, what can you do? The first talk we had here was about time, right? Which is the exchange for money. So maybe what you're learning is, I already have enough money to value my time more, but it doesn't mean stopping and living just for it. Yeah, man, it's almost like slowing down.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad thing, slowing down. I think it's more like this. Work with what you want. But we're going to talk about Pokemon cards. Yeah.
That's what I want to see now.
Man, this is business too. You get it? I like it.
Does that come from your childhood? Pokemon is something from when you were a kid. You never imagined buying a card worth $1 million reais.
Man, you know what I think was one of the secrets to our success back then? Believe it or not. There's a phrase that went viral once that I posted on my Instagram, which was, there's no poverty that can survive 14 hours of work.
Yeah, I remember.
It went viral and all, and it got a really bad reaction. I'm not the one who said that phrase. It was someone else who actually said, there's no poverty that can survive 16 hours of work. That person wasn't criticized at the time, but I was when I used that phrase. But what's the point? When I say this, man, I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. When I had Negro actually invest partner, it was one of the first firms, you know, that I was a partner in. There were 5 of us. And then we had a whiteboard. I'm saying this to get to the cards here. Go on. There was a whiteboard, right? And then I grabbed a marker. Then I wrote all our names. At the time, it was Tiago, Rafa, Mikael, Carlos, Henrique. And then I wrote Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And then when we left, we would write down how many hours we worked each day. So on Monday, Tiago, 15 hours. Monday, Rafael, 15 hours and 40 minutes, and we did this.
It's CrossFit at the gym.
Who worked more? When Friday came, if the average working hours were more than 15 hours, we would get a little package and open it. But back then, it was a little trading card pack.
Doctor, okay.
At the time, we had just started making money. I don't even know how much I was making at the time. I don't know if it was 5,000 raised, something like that. So I didn't have that struggle to buy packs anymore. I could already buy several. But since I could buy several, it wasn't fun anymore because now I could buy several. So to make it more valuable, we turned it into a prize. So you could only open a pack. Whoever worked more than 15 hours a day on average during the week. And then everyone had their own little deck to play with. And when you opened a pack, your deck got cooler. You'd get the best cards and put them in there. And man, that was our biggest motivation to work, maybe for 2 or 3 years. So I loved this thing, me and the guys who worked with me. So I worked a lot with that. In my childhood, I loved it too. Cards and Pokemon and games and video games, that's me. I love it. So I really like it. And then when I got older, man, a bit of that Pokemon vibe came back. I'm a guy who likes collectible things, rare things, things with a story behind them. I started collecting again and brought some things to show you if you're interested. Not sure if, well, I don't know.
I want to understand first, what's the deal behind the card? These are cards that are worth money. Let's go.
They can be worth something. Like, look, these cards have fans. I like the card. Okay, not because of the money. I like it because I like it. I'm a fan, man. Okay, right? So I'm a fan too.
Right? You stay away there because things get collected.
Collected? Oops, cool.
This isn't a world of stickers.
No, hold on. I play Magic, okay? Hold on.
That's why you're broke.
I'm just kidding. Here's the thing. Get World Cup stickers now. It's a craze. Walking past newsstands, everyone's desperate.
This one right here is your World Cup sticker.
This is my World Cup sticker. But, you know, I like things that, well, I enjoy, right? I enjoy this stuff. So, look, I brought some things. Hold this.
Be careful, okay? Because if you drop it, it's going to be a problem for you, all right, buddy? Man.
I brought some things here. Where do you want to start? Do you want to see everything or just part? I want to
understand this universe.
I'm going to begin with something unrelated to Pokemon. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's Mickey.
It's Lorcan. That was a Lorcan.
It's Lorcan, that's right. Look at that, see? The guy gets it.
I know, man. Come with me.
Watch out for him, man.
Come with me, my man.
Yeah, my man, I'm watching. For example, just like you have Pokemon, you have Lorcan, which is from Disney, right? And then there are Lorcan tournaments. And then in the tournament, you have thousands of people competing. And out of those thousands of people competing, only a few people win. Okay, among the winners, there's a prize called the Gold Mickey, which is this golden Mickey. So, it's a serialized Mickey. Down here, look, it's number 124 out of 500. See down here? Yes. So, they'll just distribute
500 units in the world.
Today, they've likely distributed just 160 so far.
It's Bitcoin in a way.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. It has the same characteristics as Bitcoin. Yeah.
Because Bitcoin is finite.
Yeah, it's scarce. You can't print more, right? It has a series of things. So this here is something given only to the winners. So I got it, right? There's one of the winners who's Mexican. And then he sold this golden card for $15,000. I paid him, bought this card, and then I sent this card to get graded. Grading, like you have grading companies that basically say, this card is a 10, a 9, an 8, and this one got a 10C? Yes. And then this card here, it was sold, right? Another one like this past weekend for $39,100, for example.
I mean, so that's not it. That's what I want to make clear. People say, wow, what a dumb expense. There are people who think like that. Yeah.
Man,
I think it's amazing.
Man, I have to make it very clear, like, I'm not buying it as an investment.
That's fine, but some people might buy it as an investment and you'd still profit.
There are a lot of people making money. And actually, if you look at Pokemon cards, right, in general, the rare ones have appreciated more than the S&P 500, more than the Ibovespa, more than Bitcoin in most periods, not since the very beginning of Bitcoin, but they're among the assets that have appreciated the most over time.
But who determines the value of that? Because how does this not fall into that thing where someone is laundering money? It's going to end up there, right? Because the guy says,
Man, but yeah, people do that with watches you're not even wearing, right? I'm not.
but I know tons of Rolexes. The guy travels.
People do that with the financial market, houses, and cars. It's inevitable, but it was even found among the Yakuza. If you look in Japan, the Yakuza, people expect to find a bunch of guns and drugs, but when they got there, there were a bunch of Pokémon cards. It's crazy, right?
So it's costing $40,000.
Yeah, this one, to be totally honest, I could be very wrong, this card is going to reach $100,000. Yeah, I really believe it.
I pay $70,000 and he can't do it.
I think it'll be worth $100,000 eventually. Man, Lorcana, it's a really strong IP, right? It's from Disney.
Would you sell this card?
I have 4 of these.
You have 4? Aren't you trying to sell?
It's not about selling.
It's to have this until the end of your life. Then your children will inherit those cards.
That's not the goal. My goal is to collect the card.
To collect.
Why collect the World Cup card now? Because the
collection. Because it's real, man.
7 reais.
Because Neymar is real.
But proportionally, that's the calculation people have to make, you know? So that's one thing. Yeah, this here is another cool thing too. Damn, it arrived. Man, this one right here, look.
From Pokemon?
Yeah, this one here is from Pokemon, look. This one here is Mew. Mew, do you guys know this one? Yes. Is this one Mew?
You're pretty nerdy too.
I'm such a nerd. You don't know how excited I am. If I can see it later,
I'm really going to want to see that later. That card has a really cool story.
I like it.
That card has a really cool story. Consider this. You can't get that from a pack. Here's the thing about that one.
That one isn't either.
Not that one either. Okay. You see, these are cards. In general, they're not the same. People send messages today, mothers, saying, my son has these cards. Are they worth anything? Most of the time, they're not worth anything.
I get it. It's rare, like a Mona Lisa. This one's the Mona Lisa.
It's the Mona Lisa.
The other one has the Mona Lisa printed on Tipo's printer.
That's it. You get it? So this card, for example, I don't know, in China, they're investing a lot in Pokemon now. Pokemon has been there for 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And then, man, they have a tournament circuit over there. And in this tournament circuit, you need to visit 3 different places in China to compete in tournaments and rack up points to be eligible to enter a lottery. And in this lottery, they were going to select 151 people over 10 months to receive one of these. So there are only 10,000 in the world. Impossible. I wasn't in China and didn't have the time to do that. And then that card, it was really expensive. So I decided to buy a sealed one, a box. You can't see what condition the card is in. I went there and bought a sealed box, taking a risk for $14,000, $14,500. I took it, opened it, sent it for grading, and got a 10. That card sold for $60,000 just this week, for example.
This grading is what gives the card its credibility. Because have you ever gone to get something graded and looked at it and said, damn, they gave me the wrong thing?
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Have you ever spent a bunch of money and when the time came, it didn't work out?
Man.
Thank God Neymar with a mustache, those things. No, man.
Thank God I haven't made that mistake yet. But yeah, mistakes happen. You're vulnerable. Say you want to buy a card for yourself. How do you know it's legit?
That's what I was going to ask. Buying it on Mercado Libre is rough.
Yeah, so on eBay, when you buy from abroad, you have guaranteed authenticity. So you buy it, they send it to a company that certifies it's real, and then they send it back to you. So you can always buy it with peace of mind. The grading is to determine its price. So they give it a grade of 10, right? So it really has.
So you made this here, you made this.
Then we have the accessories to store them.
Where do you keep this at home? Is it in the case or somewhere else?
On top of the security system.
Bed on Maira's bed, damn, trying to sleep, the Pokemon card, no.
We have a security system that I shouldn't really talk about, but not all of them stay at home, for example. Because man, I don't know. You might value this here in a different way.
They're not in a case, they're on display.
Some are, others aren't.
Others aren't. But has it ever happened that someone had dinner at your house and said a Pokemon card?
Yeah, there was an episode with Tiago that went viral, I think about 2 months ago, about that Pikachu illustrator. I followed that whole saga. He went to the United States. You have to see the vault he went into to see the cut. No.
Man, I got a card worth $16,000. It's crazy.
And why is it that amount?
Damn, there's a hell of a story.
Right, it was Leonardo da Vinci who made it.
Man, it's just that everything is in the past. It's all was. Damn, I have one of those, grade 8. Okay, the grade 10 was sold for $16,000. And yeah, it was a card from Logan Paul, a big influencer abroad. Yeah, and in the past, there was a competition. I think it was in 97 or 98. And it was a competition where they had to do a drawing contest. And then 41 people, 41 artists basically won this card. So there are only 41 of these in the world. But this is from 30 years ago. There's no way one of these would be preserved in good condition, right? Only one of these cards got a grade 10. So it was a unique card, a grade 10 from 30 years ago, which is the most valuable Pokemon card.
But I don't understand. Because, for example, if I take this here, look, there's only one of these. It was handled by Mauricio Mireles and licked. This is the only one. Why isn't this as valuable as, for example, a unique Pokemon card? Because I understand the scarcity thing.
Dude, because it was licked by you.
Okay, that's right.
If it had been licked by Jesus, it would be worth something. So, say you have a towel.
I just need to come back to life.
Exactly. No, what I mean is I got it.
I got it, of course.
What's the story? Why do you have this?
But what's the story behind this?
No, you have a blogger who sells farts in a can. Yes, making money abroad. So that's why it's from this blogger.
Why is this one 16 million? What's its story? So,
the story is 30 years ago, there was a drawing competition. And in that competition, there were 41 winners. Yes, this card, only 41 of this card were ever made, I see. Think about it. Today, the Pokemon company prints about 10 billion cards every semester. So that's a lot of cards. But for this one, they can't make any more. There are only 41 of them. And only one of those 41 has survived until today and received a grade 10 in perfect condition. I see. And it will never exist again.
And what's the niche of people who are after this card? Because I understand that the world today has, 2 billion people. Yeah, how many people are looking for it? I see that Matthias is one of them. Aline too? You too?
Yeah, well, I do. I like the subject, no.
But you, man, if he had money, you'd be in on this.
I'd probably be into that.
He said, nice card, cool, give me a speedboat.
You have several niches.
Man, 300,000 people.
You have niches. You have kids who buy cards in little packs. You have people who like to play, who open packs. You have collectors who like to collect. You have investors who diversify among asset classes. And you have guys like me who are nerds who, made some good money and now can buy whatever you want.
I think I get it, It's like guitars for me. Maybe I think I would spend some money on a guitar that Jimi Hendrix played.
Right? So it should be worth more than any regular guitar, right? I understand. For instance, look at this.
I'd spend some money. This is very valuable.
Look at this. Look over there. Look at this here.
Sealed up, huh?
Here's the deal with this.
You're really into the card, man.
Man, because I know the value of this thing.
Sealed. Wow, I know the value of this thing. Look.
Yellow one.
This is a sealed first edition. Show some respect.
Man, this one here. Man, here's the thing. 30 years ago, man, I used to go and ask my mom and dad for money to buy packs.
Pokemon?
Pokemon, okay. This is one of the few editions they have in the world where there's a sealed box that has never been opened with 36 packs inside. Man, I went after an old store owner. He had a shop in Portugal, man, and I managed to get this box. But unlike the others, I'm going to open this box.
You today?
Not today. Today won't work, but I'm going to open this box. Because when does this podcast come out?
When is it coming out?
It will come out in the first week of August.
First week of August. Okay. Man, yeah, we're bringing a company to Brazil that's going to do card grading. It's among the world's most respected companies. And to launch this company, yeah, I'm going to take this, which has been sealed for 30 years, man. I'm going to open it, open the little packages, see what's inside. Then I'm going to grade these cards. So this is really special, man.
Man, I get it. It's almost like there's 30 years in here.
30 years, yeah.
So the 90s, right? Like 1995, 96.
It must be 98, I don't know, 97, 99.
You as a kid, look, it's in Portuguese.
My dream was always to have this, but it wasn't easy to buy back in my day. I remember a friend of mine gave me a deck as a birthday present, and I spent the whole year with that deck. So I loved this stuff and didn't have the money to keep buying like I do today,
I mean, I didn't follow the Pokemon era. When you guys bought Pokemon, did Pokemon come in little packs like stickers here? Actually, yes.
The shopkeeper would open the box, revealing several small packs, and you'd buy one.
Yeah, we used to buy the small pack, just like today's stickers that come in a box like this. Exactly.
And then you wanted to get the ones that are on the cover.
How much did you pay for this here?
That one today is probably worth $50,000 to $100,000 depending on the number.
Hey, ammo, buy some ammo.
So if you bought the 2026 World Cup sticker album, hold on to those stickers. Don't open them, just buy the pack. That's true. If you take the 2026 World Cup sticker pack and keep it, in 30 years, it'll be valuable.
So it depends, right? But in general, sealed items tend to be more valuable. Why? Because imagine this. Let's suppose there are 10 of these in the world. I'll open it.
Yes.
Then there'll only be 9 left. So with each passing day, no?
But it's not about keeping the card, it's about keeping the pack.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So if you keep the pack, it might end up being worth more than if you open it, you know? That's what I'm, yes.
I saw somewhere that it was that. Be careful with this here, man. I could easily break it. Yeah.
Have to sell the company. Yeah.
Me selling the company. I saw it. I saw the guy who went there at
Man, but look, I brought you something, man.
Damn, open it, Mauricio. Open it. Come on, open it. Let's go, Mauricio. Open it.
Son, I brought you a little pack to see if you'll bring some luck. You opened it today.
Great, you pulled an X. It's over, Mauricio.
Opening Pokemon cards with Mauricio Mireles.
Bro,
You just pulled an EX. I'm scared. I don't even know how to open it. Yeah.
careful here. Don't crush it.
Man, for God's sake, man. For God's sake.
Be careful. If you crush it, he'll want to get it graded later. Can I open it? It'll get 8 out of 10, dude.
It's yours, man. It's yours.
It's mine, so I'll sell it for 40,000. Oh, damn. I think I broke it. Can I pull it out? You can.
You can, then you can tear it open from the back. Damn.
That little noise means I did it wrong.
I scratched the card with my nail and now it's dented. I messed up.
Let's go. Yeah, you open it like this. Okay, now it worked.
Yeah, but I'll say it.
I'm afraid of tearing the guy's Mona Lisa.
It's just that I'm more focused on magic. And every time a new set comes out, I buy booster packs.
Cool.
And I keep it stored away.
Dude, you'd freak if you saw what I got from Magic.
I bought the Post Malone Saga there with the ring.
Damn, I have the One Ring, not his.
Right? I'm going to open it. What I was going to say is, I saw a guy who took it to those guys who run a pawn shop. That's it.
The Charizard one, right?
That he took the 1986 World Cup sticker album.
Which was worthless. The guys offered $2.
That's it. Nothing really. $4. Because it was open, it was already filled out, right? Yeah. It's not a pack. Oh my God. Yeah?
Yeah, there are some tricks to open it, right? But there are.
It's normal here.
You opened it easily, man.
It's just that I'm worried, man. You opened it wrong. 40,000, do you want to open it?
It's a lot of pressure to open, right, man?
All right, let's go. You look like a lucky guy. My album only comes with affection.
But what else? Is Messi going to come?
What? No. Maybe Charizard X will show up, which costs $50,000.
There's a trick back here. Look, it's in this little green one. Look.
Okay, it wouldn't fit.
Then you can do it like this. Look. Nice. Oh, look, I messed up here. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's see if we get lucky now.
What is luck? Who's coming?
Man, you have to get a card with 2 stars, which is a rare card. Usually they're in the back.
Like, this one doesn't make any sense. I was unlucky. I owe 4,000 to Procon.
No, start the other way around, Mauricio. Really? You started it? Yeah. Okay, it's going to be no.
From the back?
No, that's all. The rare one is probably last.
Not even the side. Look, I've never opened it. That Rocket's coughing. No, that's it. How much is this thing worth? Nothing, not even a cent.
Go.
Really? Not even a cent.
What matters is down there at the bottom.
The last 3 are the ones that matter.
I want to create for the guys too. This place is great. Doesn't this get views? Hair in the package?
Hey, but you have to show it like this. Look.
Smoliv, how much is the damn Smoliv worth to you guys? Here I have Smoliv, man. Smoliv. Ramten. So, it's worthless. Hey, there's some Foginho. Torch it. Torch Foginho is awesome. This is already like $3. I think that's it, huh?
This one is cool. Yeah, in English even.
Wow, now it blew up. Did it burst? I popped it. Nice. Cristiano Ronaldo. I know this one. MILF.
MILF? Damn. Are you on that site?
On Netflix.
Old women? MILF?
Oh, fuck. Nothing so far? Nothing so far. So far, it's only left Panama. Yeah, that's it. It's done. It hasn't left, but it's on the Colombian side. Ethan Pincher. Nothing either. That was a good question.
No, man, it's the last 3.
Okay, so I'll take it out here. Scratched Ash. Look over there. No, wait. Okay, it's over. Let's go. The last 3 then. Starting with the 4th one. Formants aren't worth anything. Nothing.
Formants, like this. It's not that they're worthless. It's just like this. There's a group of people who like them and all.
If you like formants, send them to me. Now, things are about to get serious, man. I can feel it. Can I say something? Has it arrived? Me with 1,000,000 reais in my hand? Yeah, we're screwed. Can I say something? It's not possible that the Team Rocket Venture Bomb isn't worth 1,000,000 reais, is it?
Unfortunately, no.
Man, isn't it? Come on, it's a bomb that explodes, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
This isn't worth anything? Nothing? No, man, it's not worth anything, but do you know which one is? Which one's worth something? Check out this small silver one.
It's Nidoking X.
Oh, X2?
Cool. This one's worth a few bucks, man. A few bucks.
A few bucks? Let's talk in euros.
About €5.
Is this worth €5? Uh-huh. I'm going to keep it for myself. Keep it. Wow, but what is it? Is it Nickelodeon? What is this here? Nidoking. The fact that it's silver is a... Yeah.
It's rarer.
It's rarer. Yeah. And the basic energy, that one isn't really energetic. This one is really Pokemon energy drink.
No, man. With that little pack, you can get cards like this one. This one, for example, is Charizard. Like, it's pristine. The odds of pulling one are about 1 in 36,000 packs like this, for example.
I see. How much is this one worth?
About $30,000.
My God, I could have opened a $30,000 one and not this one.
But yeah, it's like this because here the chance of getting one from this is 1 in 400 packs. Yeah, but to get a 10, it's 1 in 3, so it's 1 in 1,200 packs. My God. And to get 10, I'm addicted to this.
I want to do this now. Let's go, Mao.
And to get pristine?
I got it. Does this sticker album for 2026 have this kind of thing now? Yes, it does. Damn, you got the white Pelé. It's worth one. Yes, it does.
There are some cards, there are some stickers there that are worth more, some legends, things like that.
That's it. There are a few things here. Which cost the most? I also brought some for you to open later.
Damn, the guys are going to get so excited.
No way, come on.
Which sticker is it? Which card is worth the most? The one you showed. Is it this one here?
Man, I think it's actually this one here, the one I didn't show. This is a card. This one in particular, I paid $100,000 for this one.
Could it have come in this little pack? No.
But there are only 83 of these in the world, and one like that sold last week for $132,000. So, like my card increased in value by 32%, I don't know. Man, you can get it in 3 months.
But if things go wrong in your life, can you sell this card easily today? Are there people who buy it?
A lot. Well, the speed will depend on the discount I want to offer on it. So, like, a guy paid $132,000 this week. One person paid. It was at an auction. That means if he paid 132, someone was below him, offering 131, someone else 130. So, it's an auction. There are a lot of people. Now, let's suppose I need to sell. Man, you have apps, man. Look here, man. The last deal for this card was $60,000. If I want to sell fast, I say it's selling for 50 grand. Man, maybe in the same minute or the same hour or the same day, it'll sell. You get it? It depends on the discount you offer.
It's an app that doesn't...
Yeah, there are apps that tell you the price of the last transaction for that card. It takes everything into account when pricing it.
Finance goes.
Are you familiar with eBay? On eBay, you can see transactions. You also have Mercado Libre and many auction houses worldwide. All the transactions, they record them, so I know the last trading price of this card everywhere. Yes. So all the investors and collectors know that too. So if I set the price lower, man, people usually rush to buy it, you know?
Wonderful, I got it. It's the new gold. Yeah, I wanted to finish with this question, Tiago. Man, now you're into $1 million cards. It seems to me that you're going to be one of the biggest collectors in this field, at least in Brazil, Latin America, and so on. Okay, you already have the house, a wonderful house, and by the time this video is out, it will be ready. We'll actually be there showing it. The housewarming, I insist, let's go to the housewarming.
Let me invite you, check out our idea, and see if it isn't brilliant. I'm good friends with Neto.
Yeah, he's a really close friend of ours too.
Neto is really cool. Hey man, the other day I went to record with Julima.
She's our friend too.
And then, Chef Julio, I said that the meat she made was one of the best ever.
With honey?
With honey. And then Neto got jealous. Damn.
It's really good to do that.
Hey man, I got it. We're going to settle this the right way. We'll both go to my place and have a competition. Then I'll call Cariane, Brino. I'll call some people. I'll randomly pick 20 people for our table, and we're going to judge. Then you're invited to participate.
Wow, I'm definitely in. Wow, and then we'll do the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to vote for Julima. Man.
Wow, really? No.
Thank you, I love it. You have to see it. Neto has never cooked for me. He came here, but I love him. But the chef has already cooked for me. Her meat with honey is really good. No.
But now you have to give Neto a chance.
I will. So I'll go there. And then I got the next question for you. You already have the house. You already have the car. You already have the Pokemon card. What's your You have a Ferris wheel. Let's remember that. What's your wish? What's something you want to buy someday, even though it's hard to afford? Is there anything?
Man,
Neymar's transfer rights, 4 times anything. That's your limit. Soccer team, I don't know.
buy it just like that. Man, here's what I think. I'm being really honest here. It's what money can't buy, man. Which is, damn, buying a ticket so my whole family can be in heaven with me, man. That's it for me. I think that's what's missing because I won't know until the end, right?
If you give me 100,000 reais right now, I swear I'll sell it. I have it.
What do you have?
Land there, I have land in heaven. Perfect. If you give me 100,000 reais now, I swear I'll close the deal with you right away. I'll call my friend Ignacio, who's a realtor. Shall we close the deal?
Man, if I could buy it.
I'm making the deal there. How does it work? What about the report?
Laudaria.
No, what you said, that you're going to get it graded. I'll send you this lot all set, all right?
I would definitely buy it, man. So,
all right, give me 10 minutes. I need an AI, quick. Grade this. Tiago, thank you, man. Really, I've been wanting to bring you here for a long time. I think the conversation was really great. I'll leave it here in the video description. Man, Tiago, an old friend. We always say we talked a lot during the pandemic. He's definitely potential Veranda Gourmet material to be here. With Zuka, it's over. Leave it here in the video description. I'll be at his house soon, right? Trying to find my way between rooms and living rooms. It's 3,000 square meters. I'll need to get my bearings just to eat. Chef Julima's barbecue and Kariani arguing with someone, I don't know, in the middle of... It's really cool that everyone who's going to be at his house has already participated in some way in Epic Bull, Anibuli. Tiago's social media links are in the video description. You probably already know him as Primo Rico. If you don't and you like this conversation, I recommend following him. The talks are always great. Thanks again for coming, man. Really appreciate it. Open, damn it. Millions of rees for us. And made Matthias jealous. That was the best part. He made Matthias jealous. That's what I'd most like to happen.
you're such a jerk. Like, just a little. You don't know how excited I am to wear it.
All right, then. You'll never have one. See you. Leave a like. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Guys.